Welcome back to Factory Sealed. It is April the 27th, 2015. My name is Eric Peterson. Joining me today is Miss Jess Clarkson.
Yay.
Wait, it's not Miss. It's Mrs.
I do the MS.
So you don't acknowledge
like
your husband in the relationship?
No, because he doesn't have to acknowledge me. So fuck that shit.
He doesn't have to say misters?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Right?
And back from the great wild blue yonder, Mr. Daniel Curtis.
Hey. Yeah. Hopefully going to stay on because internet is screwy. But
I thought you moved out of your parents' house.
Nobody move.
Okay.
Just leave it.
Don't touch any of the wires, even if it's your mouse. Don't touch it. So
yeah, hopefully it'll stay on.
Yeah, we were trying to decipher your message that you sent me yesterday about a show, and you're like, "Yar no, brother." And I said, "That makes no sense." To which you aptly replied, "Your face makes no sense." And then that's where the conversation ended.
Yeah. No bother means as in, like, fine, I'll do that, whatever.
Oh, it said bother? I thought it said brother. That's what threw me off.
No, that's because you don't have eyes.
Is that why this computer doesn't work well? I gotta go back and read that.
Like, the letter I, and I was like, there's no I in brother or bother.
Oh, it does say bother.
You know, you could at least cater for me since I'm on this podcast now, so you could like actually make an effort and learn some of the phrases.
It's been such a long time.
Instead of just going, what the hell does that say?
It's been a long time. I mean, we used to sit and play games all day online, and I feel like my inner Brit came out a little bit, but it's been so long since I've heard any of those phrases. There were some that I'm trying to remember the one that you taught me that you would say to your mom all the time.
Bugger off?
No, something a little bit more.
Such a good son.
I don't remember what it was, but I would always use them so horribly inappropriately too.
I don't know.
It'll come back to me. It's like tippy or yippy or something. I don't.
Tippy.
I have no idea.
I've never said that in my 25 years on this planet. So. Oh dear.
It'll come to me. It will come to me, and then I'm going to bust it out, probably in the correct context too.
We're all waiting on the edge of our seats.
Yeah, you should. But Dan, now that you're part of the show, you will have to grace us with some of your incoherent British ramblings.
Oh, I have many.
Good. So
there's probably nobody who can understand me when I speak normally. So you know,
I can understand you.
Yeah, but you've listened to my crap for like months.
Yeah, probably closer to years.
Everybody listening to this podcast will be going, well.
But I feel like English accents are like pretty standard because they're like the cool accents in movies. They're like very sophisticated.
Yes, but Jess, everybody in movies speaks like they're from London.
Yeah, and you have a Geordie accent, right?
I am a Geordie. The rest of England does not speak like you see on films.
You're from like Geordie Shore?
Yes.
Oh no!
Yes.
You don't know what that is.
If you guys want to picture what Dan looks like, go to Google and type in Chav. CHAV. Dan is a through and through Chav, to the bone, tracksuit and all.
Who is that guy? Gaz? Is it Gaz? Was he on Geordie Shore?
I don't know.
Oh, it was so good.
Jess, last week it was Twilight. This week it's Geordie Shore.
I'm just trying to connect your culture.
No, that is not our culture. That is a bunch of orange idiots being idiots.
See, like, Eric has Jersey Shore. Up in Canada, we are safe from these ridiculous people.
A boot shore?
The problem is, though, is that America is so big that it's easy to avoid those stereotypes, whereas England is smaller than my home state.
My one of my female friends, actually, she saw one of them from Geordie Shore in a restaurant once and nearly fainted. I actually nearly slapped her in the face.
Oh, God.
I was just like, what is going on? They are a stain on the underpants of Newcastle.
Do they actually like dress that way in real life? Like that's what people
they're
look like?
They're erotic. They really are.
Wow.
Yeah.
They are not a pleasant-looking people.
No. It's the cool thing now, and all the kids try to copy off them, and everybody just looks like an idiot.
Good for them for like being paid lots of money to party like they want to, but definitely not much.
Basically, we've got a culture in England at the moment where the more stupid you are on television, the more money you get.
So you're going through the Jackass generation. I mean, we hit that in 2002.
Yeah, but it's more reality TV, complete fakeness.
Oh.
Rather than jump off a cliff and break your legs. I kind of wish most of them would do that. But, yeah.
Hey,
yeah,
speaking of British TV, one of my absolute favorite shows from over there is Top Gear.
Oh my God, I'm still so sad about that.
In England, how are people reacting to the whole Jeremy Clarkson thing?
Oh, there was people actually set death threats to the guy who Jeremy Clarkson basically nearly beat up, which is just
terrible.
That is terrible.
Like, I feel so bad for the producer.
Yeah, but like Jeremy Clarkson's a twat, so why shouldn't he get sacked?
I see both sides of it, but when the show is that immensely universally popular, you just kind of turn the other cheek. You're like, all right, dude, maybe we're going to slash your pay. But
all right, so if you like punch Jess in the face,
yeah.
So if you punch Jess in the face and we kept you on as podcast host,
yeah,
is that not the same concept?
I did punch Jess in the face in Vegas. That's how we got the show started again.
It's true.
Okay,
we went slap for slap.
Yeah, and then I just closed my fist, and
as long as he just didn't beat the shit out of you, that's fine. But, yeah, there was a big.
Take me?
Yeah, there was a big load of controversy over the whole Top Gear thing, but like, I don't get why the program's popular.
Are you serious?
Because it's fucking amazing.
I don't like the normal shows, but when they do their specials, oh my God. That show is gold.
There's three two driving cars.
And we're three idiots talking about video games, yet here people are listening.
But I think he handled himself really well. Like, he apologized. He was the one who reported it, because the one guy was like, no, the producer was like, no, it's okay, everything's cool, let's just keep going. And Jeremy was like, no, I screwed up. He reported it, and I'm pretty sure he was the one who said that, like, we're gonna kick me off the show, because he's a producer as well for the show. Jeremy is. So I was really impressed with how he handled himself. Like, he apologized multiple times, like they're on good terms. I think he was very mature about it. The whole situation, he probably should have not done that and tried to be a little bit more responsible in his beating up choices. But
yes, but there's no need really to kick off someone over a steak, is there?
The dude wanted a steak.
Well,
yeah,
he could have went to the supermarket, got one, and made it.
Yeah,
so,
but they had been drinking too, hadn't they?
They're always
don't
drinking.
think so. I think he's just a royal prick. So
I disagree. I love him.
Yes.
So. I pretend I'm related to him.
Oh, that's right.
Oh my God!
Even though I wouldn't be, because that's not how that works.
No, Dan.
See, I pretend I'm related to Jay. Because you know that's the only one.
Dan,
what, Eric? What you want?
Tell us about Tokyo.
Oh my God, it's a crazy place.
Okay, let's talk about where you work first, because I don't know why they sent you there.
I don't know why they sent me there, Jess. I really don't.
He didn't go for work. He went for pleasure.
I did actually go for work. I worked for 2 days.
Oh.
Yeah, but it's culture shock. Really, really crazy. It's just, I can't even describe how crazy it is. It's just like, one of the weirdly jarring things for me was quite a lot of people in Japan wear face masks.
Yeah.
Everywhere they go.
Like what kind of face mask?
Those
Like
surgical
a
masks.
like a surgical mask.
Oh,
They'll just walk around the street wearing a surgical mask.
Well, I was reading about cultural norms over there, and it's actually considered inappropriate to blow your nose in public. It's far more common for people to just sit around and sniff all day long than to just get up and blow their nose. But people are a lot more conscientious about germs and shit, so they'll wear those face masks.
So that's why everybody looked at me when I sneezed. No, but I actually didn't understand the face mask thing, and then I looked it up on the night, and it's kind of a combination of a cultural thing, and they actually wear them when they're sick. So when they have a cold, they try not to give it to other people, the face masks, and they also protect against colds from other people, and also protect against hay fever. So I was like, oh, fair enough, it makes sense, especially when we were doing a lot of travelling on the subway and you just sit with people who just sniff, and like in England, somebody just probably sneeze on your head and then the next thing you know, you die and in bed.
Yeah.
So it makes sense, I think. But
so they're more considerate than, say, Americans.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Very, very polite, very polite. Like, even every time you go in a shop, somebody else, like one of the shop people will come over and say hello here and like bow and stuff. Whereas in a probably and look at you blankly. So yeah, that was very strange.
Hey,
and
Dan, your internet's starting to take a dump.
Is it?
It's getting fuzzy.
Are we okay?
There it goes. Did you move something?
All right. No,
don't touch.
I haven't moved. I haven't even moved my head since we started.
Good. Did they have that really insane culture over there regarding business cards, where when you exchange business cards, like there's a proper format, like you hand it to them with your left hand and then you accept theirs with your right, and then you grab it and you look at it and read both sides, and then you immediately put it into your wallet?
Nope. Not that I saw, but anyway, but I'm not allowed business cards. I'm not important enough, so I don't know.
I feel like you told me that before, Eric. I feel like we've had that conversation.
Oh, probably. When you gave me your business card, I just wiped my nose with it.
Yeah, so I don't have a business card, but lots of people give me theirs.
Did you get a chance to go to the Akihabara district?
Oh, yes, twice.
How was that?
That was mad.
So for people who don't understand or haven't heard of that before, the Akihabara district is basically the
electronic town.
Yeah.
It's nicknamed.
It's like the electronics hub of pretty much the world. It's one of the most insane places where you can go. Just anything electronic is there.
Yep. It's I went in one of the most giant electronic stores I've ever been in my life. Basically think Toys R Us, but for electronics.
Jesus.
It was about 7 floors high, huge on each floor. And I kid you not, on one of the floors, there was a section where they sell toilet seats.
In an electronics store?
Electronic toilet seats.
What do they do?
I should probably explain the toilets over there as well, because they blew my mind. So
it's not just a hole in the ground like you're used to?
No, it's not just a hole in the ground like I'm used to. First of all, they have heated toilet seats, which are a creation of genius. Okay. And they have the squirty bum function.
That's called a bidet.
Which squirts water up your ass.
Are these all toilets?
Pretty much. Everyone I saw. And then in some of the toilets, they have the universal solution to the hanging fire problem in public toilets, where they actually play a sound, so it drowns out the sound of you having a shit.
That would be the best thing ever.
See, I disagree, because I enjoy that, creating awkward tension in the bathroom, like a public restroom with explosive diarrhea. You just go in there like, I'm going to make everybody else feel really weird about being in here.
Isn't that just because you have chronic diarrhea?
When people do that, I'm awkwardly embarrassed for them. I try to wash my hands as quickly as possible and leave the washroom. Oh man,
wow.
I don't. I purposely take longer, so they have to hang fire for longer.
Really? Oh.
What do you call it? Hang fire?
Hang fire, yeah.
What's that mean?
It means when you have to stop because somebody else is coming.
Why don't you turn it into a contest?
At my work, there's only one cubicle in the gym, so when somebody's in there, you just like take as long as possible.
You're an asshole.
What is that movie that had battle shits? The two girls were twins, I think, and having battle shits.
That was
Harold
one of those.
And Kumar, was it?
I don't know.
What?
It was one of those parody movies, wasn't it?
I don't know.
Where they're doing battle shits and then the ceiling explodes and then they fall down into the classroom covered in shit.
Harold and Kumar.
Okay.
I had to Google it.
Yeah, because they were in the vent watching the girls.
Yeah.
Jess, I've just seen the highly inappropriate Geordie Shore tweet. I mean, come on. There's no need for that. Anyway, but back to Akabara, that place is just so cool. So cool. It's just, everything's there. And like, I've actually won like a figurine from, they have a big obsession with the arcade grabbing machines.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually won a figurine from one of them. It's sitting on my desk quite proudly at the moment.
Oh, really?
It's a dirty little schoolgirl figurine.
Shocker.
Everything over there, too, is like super sexy anime, isn't it?
Yeah. Actually, I was in a manga shop, and I went downstairs, and it was like hentai.
Oh, Jesus.
Everywhere. And I was like, oh, no, what's happened?
Tentacles.
It was just so weird. And there was just like loads of dudes in there just browsing. I was like, this is just strange.
I'm home.
Yeah, it was very homely.
Did you find a body pillow?
I did have. I found a pillow which had like a hentai picture on. And I was like, oh no.
You bought it, right?
Oh, no. I did. I brought it back.
Nice.
How awkward would that be as like your carry-on, like sitting next to someone on a plane with like a hentai body pillow?
That would be awesome.
Yeah, the Japanese man I sat next to on the plane back actually gave me a few suspicious looks.
He's seen it before.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I think he wanted it for himself. And my friend also won me a stuffed Sonic doll, which is really cool. Yeah, we actually won that from a place called Joypolis, which is like an interactive theme park, very involved with Sega. And they had like loads of Sonic things, like Sonic Athletics and Sonic Brain Training and stuff like that. And then they had loads of crazy. They had a House of the Dead game where it was House of the Dead 4. You actually got inside a ride. And this it had two screens on either side, and like it was a special version of the game. And when zombies would come from behind you, the seat would swing round and go to the other screen, and then it would swing round a bit more. And it was just so cool. It was so cool. It we got quite far in it. We got right to the end, and then the last boss, the difficulty spike just went up loads, like crazy.
I think I remember reading about that a while ago.
It was really good though, and then like it was blowing air at you out of the seats, and it was just
that's so cool.
Spewing zombie guts and disgusting smells.
Yeah. Really?
No. They just take like old horse entrails.
I found it weird when you go like in an arcade over there. If you went, arcades are very rare in England. I don't know how it is for you.
Yeah, they're rare.
But there's so many people in them. Like literally entire floors of people playing Tekken. And this weird card game, like it's also in like an MMO. And then there was like, and all the arcade cabinets are linked up online now, and I've never seen that before. And just I tried to play a Tekken, and this guy just kicked my ass so much.
That's so funny.
Arcades are still huge over there too, aren't they?
Oh yeah, it's and you can smoke inside them, and it's just, which isn't nice. I don't like that. And it was just, it was just surreal. And my friend actually filmed this guy playing on a drum game, kind of like Guitar Hero. Mm-hmm. I swear, he was not human. It was the most complex thing I've ever seen in my life. And he got like 100%. I was like, what are you doing? How are you doing this?
It's like watching those people that did the DDR stuff back in the day.
I freaking
on the two pads, expert mode.
Amazing.
Yeah, those people are nuts.
Yeah. But they've also got this, quite a lot of them are obsessed with this weird game. It's like it looks like a circular window. And like arrows and stuff go around the side. There's loads of different buttons around the window, and you have to tap them in like rhythm. And everybody was playing this, and I was like, how does it work?
Like a Guitar Hero type of thing?
Yeah, but it's tapping buttons around the screen, and you have to like drag the arrows and stuff. And I was like, that looks so complex. But even people must play it all the time because they had special gloves they were wearing and everything to play it better. I was like, okay.
Really?
Yeah, really.
That's amazing.
Got my gameplay.
Yeah, it was just. Yeah, but there were so many of the arcade grabbing machines, like literally entire floors dedicated to them, and they're quite. It's like not like normal ones where you get like all the different dolls inside. You know, where you get like a big collection of dolls and you have to try and grab one.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, they'll put one box in it, and you have to try and kind of knock the box down a hole. And that's what I did. I won my figure.
Did you have any idea what was in the box?
Yeah, it shows you on the box.
Oh.
There's all these different ones, and there's I saw like everything you can get. You get figurines, like famous figurines, like Mobile Suit Gundam, stuff like that.
Huh.
And did you see the picture of the Mobile Suit Gundam robot I saw?
I saw like 200 of your 1,000 or so photos.
Yeah. Basically, we went around a corner to this shopping center, and they had this absolutely giant, like 1-to-1 scale replica of a Mobile Suit Gundam robot, and it was absolutely huge, and it was just so cool.
That's what's good.
They're obsessed with mobile suit stuff over there.
Obsessed with anime in general.
Yeah.
And the capsule machines were quite interesting.
Huh.
They just have these little machines where you put money in and then you turn it and you get a random capsule. Like, it'll tell you which ones you get. Like, there's a Pokemon one and stuff like that. Then you just get a random capsule and, like, loads of people collect them. It's like, okay.
See, the grabber machines over here are just filled with cheap knockoff shit.
Oh, yeah. Same here. But, yeah, it was Akabara was really interesting. Like
That's
that.
the one place
fantastic.
that I do really want to go. I have heard though that in non-touristy Japan, they're not super welcoming to foreigners. Did you ever get that impression?
No.
Huh.
Not to be honest. I just no, not at all. To be honest, I thought they were everybody was very friendly.
Nice.
So.
Do a lot of people speak English?
Yes and no. I suppose it depends who you talk to. Like, there was a couple of shops I went in and they just looked at me blankly, just like, because obviously I've got the accent as well and they've got no hope of understanding me. And they just looked at me blankly and I was like, oh, okay. And then I just let my friend speak to them because he can speak a bit better.
Like better English or better Japanese?
better English.
Not
we
Geordie?
actually everybody would probably thought we were mad because we got told by work because we got some spending money from work, and they told us that we had to get receipts for everything.
Oh.
And we found out that the phrase for receipt is Ryo Shusho.
Okay.
So basically, we've just been wandering around in every single situation, going, "Oh, Ryo Shusho." So we've probably just been like trekking past Japanese people shouting about receipts.
That's hilarious.
Damn money grubbing Brits.
Probably just been going, why are the Brits shouting receipts?
That's how it was when we would go down to Mexico. Is we would just shout random ass stuff. Like the first time we went down there, I flew down and had an English to Spanish dictionary, and my sister and I were just flipping through, picking random words, and I decided I was going to tell everybody that I had garlic in my pants. So I was just walking around Mexico, tango ajo in mis pantalones the entire day.
Of course.
And then just bartering for $2 for everything.
This solid gold thing. $2?
So did you learn Japanese?
I learned 3 phrases.
Ryo Shusho.
Let's hear them.
Ryo Shusho, Konnichiwa, and Domo Arigato.
That's from a song. Of course you'd know that.
Which means thank you very much.
You didn't pick up much when you were there, did you?
No.
I prefer to just point at things and go, bring.
Ryo Shusho.
I did. I pointed at it and went, Ryo Shusho. And then he kept bringing me receipts.
What does he want all these receipts for? They didn't even buy anything.
He's wanted receipts. He looked psychotic.
Thought he was going to rob us.
Just went in, Rio Shusho.
Oh, God.
That's funny. So it was a good trip?
Yeah.
I always tell...
Fantastic trip. I would go again, definitely.
Nice.
And it didn't cost me anything.
Not a penny, huh? Did you get your own room, or did you have to share a room?
I had my own room for the first 3 nights, and then I had to share a room. But the hotel was amazing.
So what exactly did they send you
high.
for? Was this like a convention for distributors?
It's one of our manufacturers' 80th anniversary, so all of their distributors went. So there was people from all over the world.
This was basically just an excuse to go to Japan and have fun.
Basically,
Sounds like fun.
it was. Enjoyed it very much. So yeah, that's what happened.
Nice.
Nice.
We
Jane?
should probably talk about some games.
Well, that kind of had elements of games.
It did. Jess, I have a question for you.
Yes.
How much?
I was trying to think of a smart response, and it just didn't happen.
Have you ever done any quilting?
No.
This sounds like it's about games.
It's got a games element to it. Okay, because I've made those video game stockings and everything before.
Yeah.
Like I made one for Dan, a Sonic one, right, Dan?
No.
Oh, yes, it was. Don't.
Yeah, you did. It's proper bollocks.
Yeah, it's just a huge piece of crap. Doesn't even look like Sonic.
Proper books.
But I'm
There's my English phrase.
I went into a Hobby Lobby yesterday because I want to make a quilt for my cousin who's being born next month, I think.
They're officially old.
Well, it's a video game quilt. I'm making I designed a Final Fantasy 1 quilt where it's like the character selection screen with the blue and then the white border around the outside and then the Final Fantasy 1 fighter in the middle of it. But
Yeah, but you're making a quilt, so you are old by default.
heck yeah. What else are you going to do on a Friday night?
I can just imagine you sitting on a porch, just in a rocking chair, making a quilt.
I was at the kitchen table. But no, okay, since you've never done it, I won't ask any questions about it. I was going to see if you had any knowledge about it. But anyway, I'm making a quilt.
Like, don't have enough patience. I was talking to my friend about this. Like, I have a sewing machine, and I like sewing, but I don't have enough patience to sew big projects or, like, anything where you have to measure stuff.
Yeah.
Nope, not for me. But I like knitting and crocheting. Those are my old crafts that don't need a lot of patience.
I don't have the patience for that, but I had the patience to cut out almost 2,000 2-inch silk squares to sew together a queen-size duvet.
Jesus. So we should open an Etsy shop, and you can sew, and I'll knit and crochet, and it'll be glorious.
Let's do it.
Yes.
Etsy. And then we can get into one of those multi-level marketing schemes, and then we can recruit Dan.
I've always said you should sell those felt things.
Yeah. Did you see the one that I made for Ellie for Christmas this year?
Is that the Mega Man stockings?
Well, I had the Mega Man was mine, then the pink Mega Man was
Yeah.
Christie's, and then I made the E-Tank for Ellie for Christmas.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah.
I've still got my Sonic one up, actually. It's right next to me.
I was actually pretty impressed with that one. That was the first non-8-bit one I'd ever done.
Yeah, it's really good. I would buy that.
Heck yeah. Let's do it, Jess. Etsy shop.
It's happening.
Do I get anything?
Can you make anything?
I can make... No.
You can think of like English phrases we can write on the tags. So
Okay.
it'll make them look posh.
I'll write the Englandish.
Yes.
England
Done.
dish. We could call our Etsy shop Proper Bollocks.
That is beautiful.
That is a sweet. We're doing it.
I don't think you know what that means.
I do.
They're not like messing around bollocks. They're like proper ones.
Isn't bollocks testicles?
Yes.
Yeah.
I can see the logo already. It can be a pair of bollocks with a mustache and a monocle.
And they're quite proper. And the hairs, The bollocks hairs are his mustache, and they're kind of twirly.
Yeah.
Oh, Dan, design it.
It's all coming together. I'm on it. I'm going on Photoshop right now.
No, don't, because it might tank your internet.
Yeah.
All right, I won't move. Sorry.
We're doing it, Jess. Yes. I love it.
Look out for proper bollocks coming soon.
I predict low sales in the European markets.
All the Americans will just buy it.
They're like, I've heard bollocks. That's what the English people say, and they make good products, right?
It's so English. With a picture of Harry Potter with a mustache.
He's proper. It's a good day.
Cheerio.
The proper bollocks good day line. I like it.
How does that have anything to do with games?
It doesn't.
We're making gaming crafty stuff.
And we can start a whole new podcast called Proper Bollocks and talk about quilting.
Just rename this. Just rename this one. Factory sealed brackets proper bollocks.
I've spent way too much time envisioning what that logo is going to look like.
I think we all have a very clear idea.
I think we've scarred everybody for life who's listening. Oh, I'm sorry, everyone.
White gloves too, with a little fancy cigar.
And he's adjusting his monocle with his cane.
God, it's getting worse.
Do you picture a top hat? Because I picture a top hat.
Only if it's on partially sideways.
Okay, I'm good with that.
Over one of the testicles.
I think that would be the luxury line.
Yes.
Kind of like the Mr. Peanut Man, but with testicles.
Right, I'm going to trademark Proper Bollocks Limited.
I'm going to go make the Etsy store right now so nobody else jumps on that sweet name. Oh, man. We have spent far too much time talking about not games. It is
35 minutes. Have you actually ever read the reviews on the iTunes?
Yes, and those people can sit on it.
Quite a few people just say, there's a lot of going off on a tangent.
But if you look at some of the other reviews, too, people say that's what makes the show great. I mean, if you ever sat down and listened to other podcasts, you're like, boom, intro music over. Hey, guys, let's talk about games. Like, you don't really develop a connection with those people.
Yeah, like everybody knows that our secret desire in life now is to open a friggin' Etsy store called Proper Bollocks. So, yeah, do it with that what you will, everyone. I'm sorry again.
You have to understand there's going to be people who listen to the show that either go to school or work tomorrow and talk about proper bollocks. If we have influenced one person to have that conversation, I'm happy.
Hashtag proper bollocks. Get a trend.
Really? Yeah. People can draw their proper bollocks.
Bollocks is with 2 L's, correct?
No, we don't want people to do that.
Why? That would be amazing.
As long as it's not theirs.
What did you say, Jess?
Dear.
If people
She wants people to draw their proper bollocks.
Jesus, Jess. I don't want dick pics.
The dick is not needed. It's
Send your
just
proper bollocks to factorysealed@manatank.com.
Boom, I have just secured proper bollocks on Etsy.
Oh my god.
It is ours.
Oh my god. Hooray.
Well, I didn't want somebody else to get it.
Oh. Well, that's great.
It's going to happen. So let's talk about some games, folks. What have we all been playing?
God's sake. I can't concentrate now.
Welcome to Factory Sealed, Dan. I should probably take a minute to go back to the whole iTunes thing and say, hey, if you listen to us and like us, just go to iTunes and leave a rating of some sort.
Shameless plug. Shameless plug.
It's not shameless.
It's pretty shameless.
It is.
Yeah. But yeah, do that.
Let's do that. Let's talk about some games. What have you guys been playing besides?
I was finishing Majora's Mask.
Let's talk about the ending of that. Did you finish it yet?
No.
Okay. How far are you? Because well, hold on.
You can't.
I just finished the whatever the water temple's called.
That level blows.
We had this discussion last week.
That was the first one that I actually had to start from the beginning because I ran out of time.
Yeah.
I told you that happens.
Yeah, that was the only one I've ever had to do that with, and I was so irritated.
Did you just send me a picture of crocheted testicles? What is happening?
It's our first project.
Oh no.
Could you crochet some hair? Go back to Majora's Mask, please.
Yeah, I was so annoyed because I had like 14 out of the 15 fairies as well, and I was like ready to rock, and I had to start again, and I was really irritated.
I think that was the first dungeon I got to that I actually had to restart too, because I was right at the end, and I was obsessing over getting all of the hidden fairies.
Yeah.
And I couldn't find one of them, because on the map, it'll eventually start to show you where the hidden fairies... No, I was looking at...
Like their little like orange boxes.
And there was a room that looked like there should be an offshoot in another room. It was one of those current tunnels that sweeps you through.
Oh, yeah,
and I couldn't figure out how to get to it. Turns out you had to drop to it from another level, and I ended up having to start.
Yeah.
I had the whole dungeon solved. All I had to do was go in and beat the boss. But I wanted that last fairy.
Yeah, because they are totally worth it.
Yeah. Have you been doing any of the like the random side stuff in town?
To get like different masks and stuff?
Yeah.
For the most part, like the obvious ones. I still haven't figured out, like I got the cow mask and I went into like the cow cafe or whatever it is. And the one guy was like, oh, can you stand on stage and do this one thing? And I have no idea what he wants.
Well, then you have to come back with all the other people and they all play different instruments, and then he gives you another mask. And
the frog ones are screwing me up too, because the frogs all say, we'll meet you at whatever, the snowy place in the springtime.
Mm-hmm.
But you would have to collect all of those frogs and beat the boss of the snow place for it to be spring, so you can get, I think it's piece of a heart or something.
That one's not necessarily worth it.
Yeah, it does not seem worth it that you have to go through and like...
But you don't have to beat the whole dungeon again, because once you go back into a dungeon, it teleports
But it's
you.
still a lot of work for not really a lot of reward.
Yeah. I went through and got all the masks, but I generally don't obsess over collecting all the heart pieces, because the game's not that difficult. Did you upgrade your sword like I told you to with all the gold dust?
Yeah.
Nice.
That was an annoying race. Actually, the most annoying one was the stupid underwater with the beavers.
Oh, yeah.
How you beat him the first time. I don't know. I just suck at using that stupid Zora. Like, he sucks.
Yeah. Did you say you beat it the first time? The beaver race?
The first brother.
Oh.
Not the second brother.
Yeah.
The second brother, I gave up. I was like, I'm over it.
Yeah, I probably spent 45 minutes on that race.
It was stupid. I don't know why it was so stupid, but it just was.
Have you been using Epona as much as you've been wanting to, or did you...
Absolutely.
Really?
Yeah.
Epona's worthless in that game.
No.
Poor Epona.
Oh, poor Epona.
I love Epona. And I, use her all the time. All the time.
You're wasting a lot of time.
A little bit. But it's easy to make, like, collect lots of rupees on her in the Termina Field just by going over, because you don't have to, like, just run right over it.
That's true.
Pretty awesome.
I'm curious to see what you think of the Stone Tower, because the Stone Tower sucks. Big time.
What is sucky about it?
The fact that it's a huge maze, and you have to constantly be switching between your your four masks, your four main shape-shifting masks, and then using the Song of Effigy to drop an effigy somewhere, to hold a switch down, to walk somewhere else, and then you have to get to a point where you flip the dungeon, so you have to do certain things in order on the dungeon when it's right side up, so that when it's upside down, you can progress through a certain area.
Oh.
I highly recommend just using a walkthrough for the Stone Tower.
Because that kind of annoyed me with the water one, because it was like you could only get to certain rooms with the different currents. And I found that to be a little irritating because I would go through one tunnel expecting to be in one location and I wasn't. So I can see that being really irritating.
Well, once I started to realize that the piping on the wall led you to where you needed to go, it got a little easier.
Yeah, I realized that after.
Yeah.
Or like when they were, I wanted to say like throbbing piping, and I realized
Pardon?
the picture that would paint.
I heard throbbing.
But that made it a little bit easier to kind of determine where you should go.
Be part of the proper bollocks line, that.
I know.
The throbbing pipe.
Yep.
Jesus. This is just getting worse.
This one is rated PG-13.
Our show? No. Absolutely not. At least not that I know of. So you've played a lot of the Zelda games before, right?
Yes.
So do you feel like this one is climbing the ranks for you in terms of one of your favorites?
I do, because it's so similar to Ocarina of Time, like, which I really liked about it.
See, and I didn't
that it was
get
kind of.
I didn't get that. I didn't feel like it was super similar to Ocarina of Time just because of the way it was structured. I don't know. I'm still the jury's out on this one for me. I enjoyed it. I think it was a fantastic game. I just don't know where it falls in line with the rest of the proper Zelda games.
Skyward Sword's my favorite.
I've been trying to wrangle up a copy of that.
It's vastly underrated, like we were on about last week, but or the week before even, actually. No, yeah,
it's still super expensive too. I think it's like $45 for a used copy here.
Yeah, you can't actually get Xenoblade Chronicles anymore either.
For the Wii?
Yeah,
why?
It's very, very hard to get. It's extremely rare.
Huh? Didn't they just do a remake of that for the 3DS?
Yeah, but you have to have the new 3DS,
which I do.
Where?
Oh yeah, they're pre-owned here. That's $55.
Yep. Wow. You know what? I actually saw a ancient copy of Final Fantasy VII in a game shop recently, and that was about £40.
I still have my original. Wow. I've got one that's got the printing defect on the back of it.
Isn't that worth quite a bit?
Yeah, it's a black label. It's not sealed, but it's black label, mint condition, and it's got the printing defect, so it's one of the first runs.
Yeah, I've got all the I've got 7, 8, and 9 original PS1.
Yep.
So, yeah, still got them. I was playing on them the other day.
Maybe you'll want to join us for our wrap up on Final Fantasy VIII.
Oh yeah, most likely. Yeah,
we're halfway.
I just actually finished Final Fantasy VIII myself last month.
It seems like you're always playing through that.
Because it's such a good game.
Did you listen to our shows on them though? Probably not.
I haven't actually.
You should. Because I'm going through playing it with this whole theory that after Disc 1, Squall is actually dead, and Disc 2, 3, and 4 are nothing but a fabrication of his mind as he's dying.
To be fair, the storyline really takes a dive as it goes along.
It does, but I still like the...
It starts to make less and less sense.
I still like the...
But not as much...
Dying.
But not as much sense, lack of sense as the end of Final Fantasy IX.
I don't even remember the end of that.
Basically, you fight Kuja goes into trance, which is like limit break, and you fight him, and he's defeated, and you save the day and everything. Then, just out of the blue, this other dude called Necron comes down, and he wants to destroy the universe as well, but he's never been referenced in the entire game.
That's right.
And it makes no sense. And you have to fight him, and I'm just like, who is this guy?
I have no connection to you.
But I've done some research. I've looked it up on the net, and I've played through it about 10 times, and he is not referenced at any point in that game.
Huh.
At all.
Hilarious.
And it's just like, why is he here?
A little off-putting.
Why didn't you just have Kuja go all Sephiroth and come back all massive?
Yeah, do like a Kefka style battle and just have a huge ending battle.
He's just opportunistic. He sees that like you're a little bit weaker and he's going to take his chances with that.
Jess, do you foresee yourself actually finishing Majora's Mask?
Yes.
I'm proud of you, Jess.
Right?
Very proud of you.
Gold star.
I'm curious to see what you think of the end of it. I was a little torn on it, but
Look at us. We've talked about games for at least 10 minutes.
I know.
I've been playing a lot of Hot Shots golf. And I want to talk about this for a minute because, well, I'm a big golfer. Coached for a number of years and played varsity golf. But the Tiger Woods golf games, I got really into Tiger Woods 04. And then after that, I never picked it up.
I think I had that one.
That was one of the best ones. It was hands. The only one that may have been better is 05 or 06. But I was so burned out after 4 that I just wanted nothing to do with the golf games anymore. And then I discovered Hot Shots Golf on the PSP and just obsessed over it. Just absolutely obsessed over the first 2 on PSP. And then I obsessed over the PS3 version. And I just picked up the Vita copy for $4 on clearance at Target. It's like a $4 Vita game. And if it sucks, I'm out $4. And I can't put it down. And I don't know why. Because have you ever played any of the Hot Shots?
No.
Nope.
I'm not a golfy, sporty game.
It is the Fisher Price of golf games. I don't want to say there's no skill involved, but whereas the Tiger Woods games, you have the shot stick and you have to swing back and snap it forward, and there's a lot more variations. This one's super cartoony. It's an arcade-style golf game. And you can pound through an entire round in like 4 minutes. But there's such a difficulty spike about 3/4 of the way through the game. So you play through different brackets. You go amateur, novice, pro, silver, bronze, or bronze, silver, gold. And I got up to the silver level, and everything's like, all right, now it's super difficult. And the wind is like gale force wind, and your characters can barely hit the fairway. The greens are putting up cliffs, and you overshoot the hole, and you're off the green. But it's one of those things where as you keep playing, you unlock new characters, and you unlock new clubs and different balls. And I have no explanation for why I can't put this down. Like, I should be playing through the rest of Final Fantasy VIII, but I just want to play Hot Shots.
You have issues?
It's great. I mean, it is an absolutely great game to just pick up. I mean, when I'm hanging out in the living room and Ellie's playing with toys, and it's like, okay, she's good, and I'll pick it up and I'll play a quick round, and then I'll get down and play with her, or go run an errand, or clean something up around the house. I pick it up and play another round.
That's funny. So you're saying that it's way easier, like, because most golf games are very similar with like, you have to click the button once and then match it the second time to get the best.
Yeah, they have
power, I guess.
They have a number of different shot systems. This one is basically your tap one. They don't have the stick swing, but obviously, if you hit it to you hit X to initiate the swing, then it goes up. You choose your power, and then when it comes back down, the closer you get to center, the better your impact will be. And it's not difficult. It really isn't. Otherwise, if you want to make it more difficult, they have different shot styles. But as you go through each of the ranks or each of the levels, you unlock new characters. And then that's the only time where you really ever play against anybody else. You actually play match play against them. And if you beat them, then you unlock that character and you get to use them. But the longer you use a character, the more loyalty you get and the better they become. So it's one of those where, okay, I've unlocked you, but I've already played 60 rounds with this person, and they're going to be better than you, even though you're a better character. So it's a little unbalanced, but I love it. I love Hot Shots.
I love Mario Golf. Like, I enjoy playing that. Like, this N64 one.
They just released one on the 3DS not too long ago that was really good. I should probably pick that up.
And then is it the Wii one that you have Daisy in?
I don't know. The last Mario Golf I played thoroughly was the one on the original Game Boy. Just called Mario Golf. I think.
I don't think I like golfing games on portable
Why?
devices, though. I don't know if it's just like too small that I can't really
Shut up, Dan.
get a good handle on it. Like,
You're making it worse.
I know.
Oh, jeez.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear.
What else have we been playing? Dan, did you finish Bloodborne yet?
Not yet. I just beat some dude in a loft.
Murgo's Loft?
Yes.
Murgo's Wet Nurse?
Yes.
The big aviary bird?
No, spoilers.
Whatever.
I beat some guy and he starts running away.
Oh,
and you have to follow him, and he goes,
Mikolash.
I don't know what he's called.
He had a big cage on his head and he ran away through the foggy halls?
Yes.
Okay.
Being first try.
Yeah, he's not hard.
Oh. Don't take that away from me.
Are you going to go through and get all the side bosses, the great ones?
I've tried to beat the Daughter of Chaos, or whatever it's called. No, not Daughter of Chaos. Cosmos, isn't it? Daughter of Chaos is Dark Souls. She's so difficult.
The side bosses are very hard. Canehurst Castle, I actually had to summon someone through to help me with...
Yeah, I've tried to beat him as well, and I was just like, oh, no.
He is beyond difficult. He made the Bloodstarved Beast look like nothing.
See, going back to that now, it's escalated very quickly.
Yeah.
So,
the ending, I'm not going to spoil it for you, but there are 3 different endings, and the one I got, my initial reaction was, well, that's stupid. Like, it was really, really, really dumb. And then I sat there and started reading about some of the lore, and I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool, I guess. I guess I could see that. But I went...
See, I don't have a clue what's going on at this point. So,
well, that was the thing. My sister's fiance is living with me, and every time he'd see me playing it, he's like, so, do you have any idea what this game's about yet? Like, I'm 40 hours in and not a fucking clue. I know that there's a hunt going on, and I'm a hunter, and these people need to die. And
that's pretty much it.
That's the gist of the story. But we'll talk about the ending next week, if you get a chance to finish it. Because I'm curious to see your take on it.
I'm looking forward to getting to the end and starting New Game Plus.
New Game Plus is very difficult. I remember Dark Souls and Demon Souls, you could usually plow through the first 2/3 of New Game Plus without an issue, and I struggled through the first section. I mean, they did a pretty good job of ramping up the difficulty. So, what
else? I haven't had much time to play lots of things because getting back from Japan, and then I got a new car and had to sort that out.
We should probably talk about Echo.
Yes. So you actually played it?
I did.
Oh dear.
Dan, walk us through Echo.
How would you even begin to describe Echo?
Well, I think I sent you a pretty, descriptive tweet about...
What were your exact words?
My exact words were, is there any logical reason for Echo to be this confusing? To which you replied, yes, it's this new genre called a puzzle game. And I replied, like Tetris?
You did. I think it's just so confusing because it's from the Mega Drive / Genesis era, where nobody told you anything.
There's not telling you anything, and then there's Echo, and Echo is even more vague. Because let me tell you my history with Echo. I had it when it first came out, and playing through it this time, I realized that I never, in my entire life of playing this game, made it past the first screen.
Really?
Yeah. I thought the whole game was just swimming around talking to those dolphins. I'm like, why would anybody pay for this shit?
It's got a lot of levels.
Like 26, isn't it?
Something like that. And it gets increasingly more screwed up as you go along.
So you've actually beaten it.
Oh, I've beaten it.
Did you beat it without a guide?
Yes, actually.
Wow.
Did you have to like write a guide as you were going to remember?
Yeah, I actually wrote the game. I actually wrote the game back as I went.
Walk us through this
the
game.
only person who's ever finished.
So, for someone who doesn't know what Ecco is, what is it?
Ecco is a bizarre 2D puzzle kind of platformy game where you play as a dolphin. At the start of the game, unless you're Eric as a child, you have to jump as high as you can in the air, and then a storm comes and takes away all the other dolphins.
It took me a while to get to that storm part.
Me too.
Yeah, it's not clear in the slightest. The only way you find out to trigger it by accident is if you just like gradually just start jumping just for the crack, and then you basically end up doing the storm, and then the storm comes and nicks all Echo's dolphin friends. So Ecco goes off on an adventure to the dark depths of the ocean, where there are incredibly creepy monsters.
Yeah.
And even aliens.
I did not get to the aliens.
Oh, the aliens are so screwed up. It's honestly, that game scarred me for life.
Well, I will admit
so freaky.
that it took me until the third level to realize that you actually have to breathe.
Yeah. If you get to about halfway through, he gets a power where he can breathe underwater.
Oh, because that makes sense.
Yeah, it's like they weren't really great at explaining what your two bars meant. Like, I didn't know that the one was health and the one was air for a while.
Yeah.
Until
you die.
And it's not very clear as to exactly how you lose health either, because I'd be swimming along and, just lost health. I mean, I swam through a reef, lost health, and then when you die in a level, it takes you all the way back. And some of these levels are super long, and there's a lot of pieces to it. And the one in particular is the Undercaves, where you have to get all these for some reason, there are big stone glyphs underwater, and they don't tell you that you need to keep ramming these things to gain their power. You look at it, you're like, okay, it didn't do anything, and you leave.
Yeah.
But then you go back to it, and you keep ramming it, and it gives you the power to go forward, and then you can use your sonar to blast a glyph out of the way. But if you die, you have to do all that shit all over again.
It's a really
Wait, the
complex
crystals
game.
are the glyphs? That's what they're called?
Yes.
Yeah, they're called glyphs.
And when you absorb their power, it gives you the ability to remove a different glyph that could be blocking the way. But if there's two, and you remove the wrong one, you have to go all the way back and get the glyph power again to remove the one that you actually need to remove.
I may have just accidentally done the right one, because I don't remember having to redo it.
Okay.
Jess, this is before it gets really complex.
It gets
later
so
on.
difficult. For example, the level that I was just on was the lagoon, where this mother dolphin is missing her dolphins, and
yes,
you need to push a rock off of a cliff because there's this pit that goes down, and there's a current pushing you up. But if you push the rock off and then swim down behind the rock, you can avoid the current. But there's a whole bunch of different alcoves off on either side that you can go into, and most of them lead to dead ends, but others lead to baby dolphins who are lost, and you have to get that dolphin to follow you and then take it all the way back to the mother and then do it 2 more times, and then you get the death sonar. And then you can go to the next level.
Yeah. Have you been on the level where you have to swim very slowly past the giant octopus?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's weird.
That took me a while to figure out, because before I'm like, maybe if I just swim super fast, and it got so annoying because that's pretty much towards the end of the level. Boom, you die, and then you have to redo the entire level again.
Welcome to the Mega Drive era.
It was just obnoxious. The music is great. Love the music in that game.
I find the music's really creepy. I think that's what gives it a creepy vibe.
It's fitting for the game.
And like the noise what Echo makes when he gets hit and stuff, it's quite like disturbing.
Yeah.
And you guys haven't got to the end, so you haven't seen the final boss.
I'm going to be honest, I don't think I'll trudge through this game to the end, because it is
It's fair enough.
super difficult.
I'll tell you, the giant boss, the last boss, is a giant alien head.
Okay.
Against like a black background, and it has a massive jaw, and it tries to suck Echo in, and stuff, and you have to shatter its jaw, and then you have to attack its eyes and stuff, and it's so freaky.
Do you ever get more health or more resistance to damage?
I can't remember. I've played the second one more than the first one, The Tides of Time, which is even more difficult.
Is it the same concept, or have they added new skills and abilities?
Time travel in Tides of Time.
Oh, makes sense.
And you actually end up in the future where there's the ocean has become like sentient, and it has waterways in the sky, and you can actually go up with the water into the sky and stuff. And there's this level where you have to avoid this monster that's chasing you, and if it grabs you, it chucks you down to the last level. But it's really intricate and really hard to avoid.
Huh.
And it just gets so hard.
Interesting.
It's a weird game, and it's one I think everybody should have a go of.
It's very difficult.
I felt quite accomplished finishing it.
I would say so, because it's not. It's no small feat just getting through a level, because the levels are really complicated. They're just mazes.
There's a level later on called the Machine or something like that, and it's like a side-scrolling one. So if you delay, you get crushed by the thing, but it's incredibly difficult. So you have to move at speed, and you get attacked by loads of different things all the time, and it's just such a hard level.
Wow.
It just gets harder and harder and more obscure, and it's one of those games that I remember from having as a kid and never really getting anywhere. Then I tried it and got somewhere, and it's just like it's just so weird.
Well, I think Echo, when everybody thinks of Genesis, they think of two things. They think of Sonic, and they also think of Echo. But to be honest, I think more people have. I think Sonic is more accessible.
Yes.
Yeah, well, it can be difficult.
Yeah, but it's nowhere nearly as difficult as Echo.
The first two Sonics are harder because you can't save.
Yeah.
So on the third Sonic, you can. So yeah.
You guys been playing anything else?
No, I think that's it. To be honest,
We got one email that I want to get Dan's opinion on. So if you want to send us an email, factorysealed@manatank.com.
we got an email.
Yeah, we've been getting emails.
Is that just you sending it?
It is. Jay Jorgensen writes in. He says, speaking of death scenes from Final Fantasy VIII, so if you listen to our show from 8, we're talking about how Squall might possibly be dead. He said, let's talk about Final Fantasy VII. There is a rumor or a theory that Ares is not in fact killed by Sephiroth, but simply put into a state of shock, and that Cloud is in fact the one that kills her by letting her body sink to the bottom of the lake, where she is promptly drowned, as her state of shock has rendered her paralyzed.
I think, given the size of Sephiroth's sword, she's dead. There. I think that's just clutching at straws.
I don't know, because
no, she's dead.
Phoenix Downs are supposed to revive people from
knockout.
But these people survive meteors crushing them. These people survive earthquakes and giant golems destroying them.
It's a game,
Dan.
It doesn't have to, it's Final Fantasy.
Suspend
it doesn't have
the
to
disbelief
make sense.
and engage in thoughtful conversation.
No. Ares is dead. It's an important plot point, and I will not have it ruined.
Why didn't somebody cast Cure?
Because they don't want to. He didn't have that materia in his weapon.
I don't know. I
don't know. Back in the day, there was so many rumors that you could get Aerith back.
She was called Aerith in your game, wasn't she? Over in England,
she was called Aerith. Yeah, over here.
Ares here,
and that really confused me.
Yeah.
Why would they change that?
I don't know. But I used to change everybody's name on the Final Fantasies anyway, like we were saying last week. So.
That's it for.
I always preferred Tifa. So.
Tifa.
Not sexy.
Can I recommend a game to play again?
Oh Jesus! What?
This one's good. Streets of Rage 2.
Streets of Rage 2.
Yeah.
Okay. Dan, do you remember Tom Reagan?
Yes.
So he is going to be coming to Vegas in June, and I'm going to drive up and see him. But we're going to try to... He liked my suggestion of playing through the original Red Faction, so I think we should try to put that together for a show where we could all get together and talk about that.
Yeah, sounds good.
Because you can pick that up for like $10 on the PSN store, and it is a phenomenal shooter, especially with all the Geomod technology.
Yeah, they took that out for the later ones, didn't they?
Yes, but I think they made up for it in the building destruction. But it still would have been awesome to have a sandbox game where you could just dig huge assholes and do whatever you wanted. But we'll save that for another show. I know we're kind of coming up on our time limit here. So, if you want to send us an email, factorysealedmanatank.com, or you can go to our website, factorysealed.manatank.com, and send an email directly from the site. Fancy.
Right?
Yes. And we do try to live stream these, so if you catch those, awesome. If not...
Now, the important question is, did you press record this week?
Yes, actually I did. I was recording before you even joined the call.
Oh, well done.
Yes, sir. So
that's quite good.
I think that's...
We're getting better.
That's going to...
Right, and
What?
Everybody look out for Proper Bollocks.
For Bollocks
coming soon.
Etsy shop. We will be selling all things testicle and video game related.
True story.
The merging of two worlds. Yep. I wonder if that'll actually get flagged as inappropriate.
On Etsy?
I tried searching for it on Etsy earlier, and it hasn't come up.
Well, I haven't gone through the process of making the store because, we're recording a show.
Okay.
Like the name or the things that we're making?
The name. I just registered it.
People have got T-shirts with bollocks
Okay,
on.
good. We're doing it, Jess. Proper bollocks.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
Jess, where can we find you on Twitter?
At I am a Jess.
Dan?
Frosted Sloth.
Frosted Sloth. You can find me at Honest Pizza. That is going to do it for the show this week. We will maybe be back midweek with a next disc of Final Fantasy VIII. Otherwise, we will be back next Sunday.